you're on the travel squad because of special teams, then you'll be able to earn your right at the position. But you're going to have to be on special teams, minimum 2, hopefully all 4, if you're not a guy who's in the 2 deep rotation. And that should really help us on special teams get better. Then nose guard, defensive tackle, you got Kevin Hester, and Kevin's played a lot of ball. And he did some great things this spring. We said Travis Shaw looked like the Travis Shaw we've been waiting on for all spring. He's really stepped it up and been high energy. Joel Starlings has made some plays. He and Rodney Laura are young guys, but Joel he's 320 pounds. He's 6'4", and he's just got to be more consistent. But he's got a chance as we go through. And then you've got Jabari Ritzie had by far his best spring. He's quick. Jeff's moving the guys a lot more, so that's Jabari's game. And then we're very excited about Peter Pozansky and Leroy Jackson coming in. Defensive linemen can play as freshmen if they're strong enough, and both of those guys are really, really strong. Leroy's a great baseball player. He's the fastest guy on his baseball team. He's hit some home runs. He's very athletic, so we feel like those guys will have a chance. And then we've got another guy that we're planning on coming in at defensive tackle from the portal. And I can't talk about him today because the paperwork's not done. Is that fair, Pat?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you go to linebacker. You've got Power Eccles, who we were smart with this spring. We want him to coach and do a lot of things and help us, but he's had enough hits. Amari Campbell has really been good. He has stepped up, and he plays older than he is. And he's gotten a lot of snaps this spring, but he's ready to go. And then you've got this group of Ashton Woods, Michael Short, Caleb Lavalley, and Cade Law, who all really played well. We were impressed with all of them at one time. It's amazing. Cade Law was a baseball pitcher at Vanderbilt, and he comes in and had never played linebacker. He played quarterback in high school, and he's doing a good job. He's got to tackle better, but he's all over the place. Lavalley got well, and he really had a great 3 weeks at the end. Michael Short keeps getting better, and we were very impressed with Ashton Woods. He pulled up a little bit Thursday before the spring game. I wish you could have seen him. He's going to be a real good player, and I wish he could have been out there on Saturday, because that would have been fun for you all to watch. And then you've got Evan Bennett and Cruz Law, 2 really talented young guys coming in. So you'll look at them and see where they are. So we've got to get a 3rd and 4th linebacker. We've got enough folks, but we've got to, again, like the receivers, we got to separate. Some of them have to be special teams. In fact, all of the backup linebackers will probably be on special teams, but who's number 3 and who's number 4? And that'll be something that we have to finalize when we get to the fall. Marcus Allen's a great corner for us. He went out there this spring, but it forced us to look at Tyran Stewart. And when you're all talking to him, I think I mentioned it to you, but his nickname's Dooley. And I asked him why, and he said, "Grandmother called me that." And I said, "Is there a reason she called you that?" And he said, "No, she just started calling me Dooley." So we call him Dooley because that's easier than Tyran. And then you've got Khalil Conley, who played star, he played corner, he played some safety, he played all over the place. Stick Lane really stepped up. You saw his hit on Saturday. He's been doing that all spring. And the truth is, Stick didn't come in until June. Then he pulled his hamstring, so he didn't get to play healthy until probably 3rd or 4th game. So he's really had a good spring. DeAndre Boykins will work at star and safety, both. He was out there doing some drills this spring. He didn't get any contact, but he actually got to do enough drill work that his knee looks fine. Will Hardy had an outstanding spring. You've got Jalen Thompson and Jaden Patterson and Malcolm Ziegler, all young safeties that can really run. Malcolm probably played the most out of that group, but they're all really fast, talented guys. And then Jakeem Harris has really impressed us. He and Will Hardy were in yellow jerseys all spring because of their injuries, but they're hitters. Stick's a hitter, so it's going to be a very physical group at safety. And then Elijah Huzzy, is who he is. He didn't play a lot Saturday, but he's really talented. We like him at corner, so hopefully he can stay there now. We've got enough depth at star. We lost everything last year when we had to move him to start, and then he got hurt at star, so it just depleted us because he's one of the better players around. Ty Adams has stepped up this spring. We're really impressed with him. He had more interceptions than anybody early. He's an outstanding athlete. And Zion Ferguson's going to be really good. He's tall, can run. So those guys got a lot of work at corner as well. Caleb Cost only was out there for 3 practices because he had baseball. And we said you only have 20 hours a week, so you've got to be able to make sure you stay within NCAA rules about how many hours you can work per week. But when he was out there, he was very impressive, and he's excited, and he'll be back now full speed ahead. We moved Trey Miller basically to star, and he's done really well there. He's a hitter and a good pass cover. And then Ty White is a lot like Trey Miller. He's athletic and active. So we feel like we've got more numbers on defense, we've got more guys to play, and now we've got to have the confidence to put them all out there. Special teams, Liam Boyd did a good job of kicking off, so we feel good there. We were inconsistent with our punts, and we were inconsistent with our field goals. And that's a concern that we've got to address, and something else we're looking at in the portal. Spencer Triplett's a really good snapper, and he's been that since he's been here. So he'll take Drew Little's place, and we feel good about him moving forward. Any questions on defense before I finish up here with a few things?
Yeah, Mack, you talked about at the star, Trey Miller, kind of being there. It seemed like he played a lot of those snaps on Saturday. Just like in what ways at that, at that position specifically, have you seen him step up throughout the spring?
Yes, you've got to have a hitter there that's very physical, but you've got to have a guy who can cover on the pass, because everybody wants to get your 4 wideouts now and spread them out and get the safety on one of your best receivers. And he's a cover guy. Caleb Cost is a cover guy. Ty White can cover. So that's what we're looking at that position, and we feel like all 3 of those guys can do that.
At least right now, Matt, is Trey Miller the leader in the clubhouse, so to speak, in terms of like a first-team star?
It would be a fight between he and Caleb Cost when Caleb gets back. Caleb, when he gets through with baseball, will be through.
Sure.
He'll be football all summer, and then all fall. Our agreement was that Scott can have him in baseball season, and we can bar him when he's got days off. But we didn't hit him. We made sure he was healthy for baseball. But we think he has a chance to be really special.
A lot of baseball guys.
A lot of baseball guys. We have the potential to have 3. Barry Green is a really good baseball player. Kimmy Lawson was a top draft choice, possibly. So all those guys could be playing baseball next year.
I know you said in the past you do like guys that play other sports. What specifically is it about baseball guys that maybe kind of translates a little bit or helps them with football?
I think it's just easier to play both because it's not 2 physical sports. You've got a little time between the end of football and when baseball starts. When we had Julius Peppers, he'd go from bowl game to immediately go to basketball the next day. And it's the wear and tear, not only on your body, but emotionally. And we've told the guys that until it affects you emotionally or until it affects your grades, you can play both sports. But if at any time either one of those, if you're worn out and you're not doing well, you're not having fun, then you shouldn't play. Anything else?
With the 3rd and 4th linebackers, do you also want to play that 3rd and 4th linebacker more? I felt like last year, maybe this is projecting, but there was so much riding on Cedric and Power late in games, maybe that had an effect.
Yes, I think it's one of the real mistakes that we've made. We just haven't played enough players. In the offensive line, at linebacker, that's why for us to get where we need to get, we've got to have enough depth that we can play 2 deep for sure. At Texas, we had 3 deep, and we just rotate them. That makes you better for the next year. Morale's better. They're not all wanting to get in the transfer portal because they're playing, and you have a chance to stay healthy. We've had too many injuries, and I think some guys are just worn out. So we're working hard to figure out a system where we will definitely put them in and put them in early in games and play them. We're not going to have linebackers playing 900 plays anymore.
Regarding Daniel Anderson, looked like he was playing some traditional defensive end and rush the other day. Is he more suited for both because it looks like the rush position is a little bit more like an upright defensive end than the jack was? Is that kind of why he fits in there?
Yeah, we're going to play more four-man front some, and he'd just be a pass rusher, which he does that really well. And that guy's got to take on the big guys coming at him. So at 240, 245, he's more equipped to do that than some of the 210 guys. J. Brown Harvey's 245 now, I think. He's got a lot of weight. He's gotten a lot bigger. So Malachi and Curtis and Tyler Thompson all have to gain some weight.
Because Coach Collins talked to us a week and a half ago. He mentioned something about Dez and Bo also playing the rush. So it looks like those two positions are more in sync now than maybe they were under Gene's defense.
I think that's fair. They still drop some, but you need to be able to rush passer and take on the run as well.
Mack, between now and August, what does Travis Shaw have to do to continue this sense of positive momentum that he's got working for himself?
I think the number one, you got to figure out your goals. You got to always watch your weight. He's done that. He's really working hard. We've got a tremendous nutrition staff, and they're working really hard with a plan for each kid. And then the second thing he's got to do is just get so he can push himself. He got a little tired Saturday at the end, but he stayed out there. He went back out there. And I passed, he wouldn't.
Right.
Nope. So everybody's pulling for him. The kids are pulling for him. I'm so happy for him. He practiced every practice all spring, and he hadn't done that for 2 years. So I think it's just confidence in himself and confidence that he can do it. And he is such a force. He ran over Willie, just ran right over him once, and he can do that. And he's seeing that. And Ted pushes him now. He pushes him hard. So he is all over him. But he loves them, and they appreciate that, I think. So I'm really excited about him moving forward. He could be a difference for us on defense.
Some of the guys have said that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Just staying on the interior of the D-line.
We've got competition at quarterback. You all are in competition.
I just, my right ear was against my left ear. I didn't even know I was talking at first.
Maybe we can play golf after this, AJ.
Oh, that would be ugly.
With the defensive line, I know you say you can't talk about the guy you got yesterday, but now that is happening there, looks like you have 4, maybe for the 2 inside spots. Do you think you're done in the portal at D tackle, or will you keep looking in the portal for more D tackles?
What you do is you look for the best players available. And if somebody comes in the portal that's really, really good, that likes us, and it's at that position, you look at it. But that's just what you do. It's the portal's expensive now with players. So everybody says, why don't they get that one? Well, give us more money. check your NIL budget that you're spending, and you can second guess me more. But I think that's the biggest thing. If we see a great player at just about any position that's interested in us, and it would usually have to be somebody from around here, it would usually have to be somebody we recruited, because we're not going to get that guy that looks at the 5 that are spending all the money. Every time it's coming up, I always look to see who they're looking at. And I said, no, not us. But that's the truth. It's facts, and that's okay. That's what we're doing. But I do feel like that we'll keep looking. I think the 2 coming in are really good. And the 2 young ones that played Saturday are getting better and better. So I think we're going to be fine.
Regarding Ted, some of the guys have expressed an appreciation for transparency, that he has a way of telling them the truth without kind of screwing up the message by making it emotional and personal. Is that exactly the kind of guy Travis needed?
Yes, he's what everybody needs. He's perfect for me because he'll tell me, I think we should be doing this way instead of this way. And he can do it without making you mad or making you feel like he's yelling at you. He's high energy. He's a lot like Jeff. They're very similar to each other. He's very positive. He's gonna be all over them about every little thing, from being on time to sitting up straight in a chair to answering questions direct to being more confident. And they know that he's gonna help them get to the NFL. He said, I sat in 16 draft meetings. I went to 16 combines. So if you wanna go, listen, man, I know what it takes to get you there. So he's got a resume that just oozes out to them and says, I got you, I wanna go there. And he says, then show me, I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me. And this team's been that way. We've told this team, I don't want to hear you say you want to win. Everybody wants to win. I don't want to hear you say you want to go to the NFL. Everybody wants to go to the NFL. Show me, man. Show me. Be on time. Do everything right. Bust your tail during practice. Make plays. And we've graded every practice to see who's making plays. And then Jeff puts it up on the board on defense. Here's the guy with the forced penalties. Here's the guy with the tackles for loss. Here are the guys that had the sacks. And if you're not in that group, you're not doing your job. So it's been very, very evident with all of them. And that's why they've appreciated Travis, because he's shown up every day on that list.
Mack, what are the things that you've said it several times now about having a feeling like it kind of feels like the 2022 team. What are the things, other than, I know you said nobody's talking about us, but like, are there things that have happened in practice or around this building where you've been like, aha, that reminds me of 2 years ago? Yes,
they've practiced really hard every practice. Number one, we haven't had to motivate them to practice. And they've been competitive, and they've really taken it to heart. If they weren't doing well, on their side of the ball, they picked it up, and there's great leadership. The second thing is they have fun with each other, and we eat lunch with them every day. So the whole staff's down there every day to see them. They're cutting up and picking at each other, and that's fun. They don't have animosity. They're not mad. And then I walk in the pregame meeting on Saturday, and it was a buzz, man. They were so excited about a spring game, where a lot of people, it's like pulling teeth. What are we doing this far? I got to get through this and not get hurt. And, another hour and I'm through for spring. They were singing. They had started a dance contest before I got in there, and they were grading them. It was fun just to walk in there and see kids with a tremendous amount of pressure they have on them in this sport right now. There's more pressure than ever before. There's more drugs out there. There's more alcohol out there. There's more mental health issues out there with the transfer portal and with the NIL and what are they making, and weren't you paying me more? And they've got, it's a great time for them, but they've got more on them than any of us ever had when we were in school. And these kids are happy. They're handling. I met with the parents, and all the coaches met with the parents on Saturday, and we told them the truth. If your son's playing well enough to play, we're going to play, but we've got to win games. We love all your sons. We'll take care of them off the field equally. On the field, we got to play the ones that play the best. And you're a parent. You can't decide that. You love your son enough. You want him happy. I got it. I got grandkids. I won't play them. I mean, that's just what it is. I don't like the coach for not playing. I never met him. So it's just part of the deal. You want your kids happy. You want your grandkids happy. But we got to win. So we've got a lot of really smart, good people in this building that are looking at making a decision on who should play and who shouldn't, and who we should recruit and who shouldn't. And I trust them. And they're doing a great job there.
Mack, can you talk about your new addition, Brian Simmons? What addition to, I know he can't coach on the field or anything, but what addition to him being an ear in the player's ear?
Charlie, he's going to come down and talk to you after me. So let me make two more statements here, and then I'll address Brian. Recruiting is going really well. I'm so excited about the guys that we're getting to commit. And there's some more coming. This is starting to be a great recruiting class, not just a good one. So we're excited about that. The portal we've addressed, we're looking at a few positions, specifically quarterback, but we'll take the best available at any of the other positions if something pops up that we like and he's interested in. The upcoming off-season schedule for the players, they're in a discretionary period right now, which means that we can't work them out. They get to do what they want for a couple of weeks. That's a NCAA rule, and this is the time of the year they do that. They are having their exit meetings with their coaches. Would we have somebody else go in the portal? We might, after a coach tells them where he stands. I've told the coaches to be very, very direct and honest with every player. Let him know exactly, here's where you fit, here's where you are on special teams, here's how much we think you're going to play at this time. It could change. But so somebody could feel like they're not going to have a fair chance to play and they could leave. We don't anticipate that, but that could happen today, could happen tomorrow. It's just the world we're living in. Quality control and analyst. We feel like it should be approved for the fall. We think it's going to be approved for the fall, and that would be a huge asset to us because we've got so many great coaches that could really give input. I'm hoping that happens because they also need to be coaching because it'll help them get jobs when they get out of here. And then we just talked about Brian Simmons. I love Brian Simmons. He was a tremendous player for us here. He was an All-American, a first-round draft choice. He was really good in the NFL. He has always been such a quality person, and now he's an outstanding father and husband. And he has meant so much to this program already. Coach Moody did a great job. What Brian's got that the rest of us don't have is he played. He's been where the players want to go. He's that guy. He's got a great life. But he earned it. Was a running back in high school at Newbern when we signed him. He came in here in redshirt. So he can sit and tell every player, here's what's going to happen to you. If you want to get where you got to go, that's not good enough. You're a second team player here. Do you think you're going to be in the NFL? Not going to happen, man. Wake up. Wake up. You're going to be late. You're going to loaf in practice. I'm a scout. I'm marking you down. I'm not going to draft you. Period. So he has really gotten in their ears, and they listen. I've been so impressed with what he's been able to do in a short period of time. The other thing he's done, and then I'll turn it over to him, is he and Freddie Kitchens and Ted Monachino got on a Zoom call the other day with all of our draftable players, and they were able to tell them, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's happening with the media that's positive. Here's what's happening with the media that's negative. Here's what's going to happen to you between now and the draft. And here's what's going to happen on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And Coach, what if I get a call as a free agent and they don't offer me any money? You got to figure out what are the teams that need you the most. It's about making the team. It's not about your free agent money. Coach, when do I go after I'm drafted? If you're a first-round draft choice, you'll be there that day. Next day, if not, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 10 days to 2 weeks. What do I wear? Where do I stay? What? So Brian and these guys can help. What happens in that room on game day? Or on draft day? What should I do during the draft? Should I go play golf? Should I sit in my home? Should I have a party? What do I do? What do I do all day while I wait? And then those guys, along with our other coaches, are going to have availability for them anytime this week for the draft, but also during the draft. So they have said, we are on call. We're your consultants. So if something comes up, you got a question, you call us and ask us immediately. It was funny, they said, I think it's Freddie that said, if they call you and you don't answer, they're not calling back. So you watch that phone, man. You sit there with it. When it gets to be your turn, when you're down to your bunch, they're moving on. They're going to take that free agent that answers. So don't miss it. So just talking to Gio Biggers and British and some of the guys the other day, they said, Coach, that's unbelievable how much better I feel now that I've got a better feel of what's happening. Should have done it for years, but we're doing it this year. And they're going to have another Zoom call with them on Wednesday, right before the draft, so they can just answer any of the questions. But with that, is Brian here, Pat?
Yeah. Matt, can I ask you one more thing?
Yes.
Just since we're kind of on the draft a little bit, I mean, that's coming up. For you with Drake, I mean, this is a guy you've known since he was little, you know, like, and he's about to be a first-round pick. I mean, just what are your thoughts as he, gets set to be a high draft pick on Thursday night, and just the journey that he has made, since you've known him?
Yeah, getting a college scholarship's a dream for young people. So that's a next chapter. And I told guys that even committed to us this weekend, you don't realize how few people in America get scholarships. And then to get a scholarship where you want to go, that's really, really unusual. So you've earned the right, and when you've earned that right, you should be very, very proud of it. Going to the NFL is a dream. We tell our guys, we want you to have fun, we want you to all graduate, we want to win every game, we want you to better prepare for life after football. Those are the goals here. Your dream is the NFL. Your dream is to have a great family. And your dream is to have enough money you can spend what you want to. But you can't get to your dreams before you get to your goals. So now these guys, this week, they're working on dreams. And Drake's accomplished everything that you could expect him to in 2 years. I can't even imagine what would happen if he stayed 4. Can't even imagine, but he's too good. He can't stay. And somebody's going to be really, really lucky to get him. And I wish I could be there. We have our charity in Austin this week, which is always the case when it comes up. But I'm excited about all these guys, and I've told them that. And the good thing about them, they've all got their degrees. So if it doesn't work out for them now, or if they don't make that 90-man roster, they're going to be good. I'll never forget Jonathan Perry called me from preseason camp with the Tampa Bay Bucks. And he just called me out of the blue, and he said, "Coach, thank you." I said, "What? What for, bud?" He said, "I'm going to get cut. I'm not going to make it. But there's a lot of my buddies that are going to get cut, and none of them have degrees. And I've already got a job at a law firm." So he said, "I'm good. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to make it, but that's okay. I'm ready to start my life. And without North Carolina and my degree, I wouldn't be doing that." So I'm proud of these guys. I'm excited for them. I was talking to Mark May Friday night at the table event, which they raised a whole bunch of money for kids to eat in Orange County, which is so cool. It's one of the great things that NIL has brought forth for us to all learn. And sitting there talking to Mark, they're all nervous because they're uncertain. And I said, "You know what? Being nervous doesn't do good. Be anxious, be excited. But you've earned the right. So it'll take you where you want to go. Then you got to make a team. And then it all starts over again, and that's what Brian can talk to you about now." Okay? Brian Simmons.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, guys.